What's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Wednesday, January 15th, 2024. And we're so thankful you are here to discuss the Wildcard Weekend. I'm thankful. My voice is here. Feels great. The best it's felt in a week. As you saw on the tweet cap, our first show back after I was sick, I had the flu. Then the flu turned into a viral infection in my throat. And well, after lots of rest and medications, orange juice, herbal teas, we were able to get healthy again and thankful for that. But finally can react to the wild card weekend. I'll have the divisional round preview for you on Friday. And let's get to it. Let's just talk about it right away, right here, right now. Just had to pop in one more lozenge and I should be good to go. But also just some reminders, national championship preview will be on Thursday, and we will have the reaction for that on Tuesday of next week, as well as Monday, we will have the reaction to the divisional round. Then next Thursday, we will have our conference championship preview for football. Then obviously Monday again, probably honestly even Sunday night, I'll have the conference championship reaction there. Then we have a special Super Bowl reaction show like we did last season as well. So we'll do all of that. Continue with our tweet caps. NBA talk will return in a few weeks, as well as college basketball and our trending topics and all the other extra shows we're doing. But feels good. We're thankful. And let's talk about the wild card weekend. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to go to magicmind.com/PCJAN for 45% off your first purchase of Magic Mind. Thank you to Magic Mind as always. So, as I was dying in bed, but I thank special people who helped me recover. So able to watch all the games in peace, even if they were subpar. Even though some games are better than others, but let me just hit it real quick. Texas and the Chargers, with the return confidence of CJ Stroud, with the offense just exploding, and Justin Herbert fumbling again in the playoffs. We had quite a 32-12 beatdown Houston over the Chargers. Even though I actually thought the Chargers would be the winners. Looking back, with Herbert's 4 interceptions, him holding the ball too long, with none of the receivers getting any love, with the running game being non-existent, the Chargers played as bad as a playoff game as possible in Harbaugh's first NFL playoff game back. Though I still think the team has plenty of potential and has a great future. It's all on if Justin Herbert can return to form. Not even return to form, if he could just step up in a big game again. He'll have to wait another year to get another opportunity. But after such a impressive regular season, he just ran into a CJ Stroud, returning to the CJ Stroud of last year. 282 yards, 22 for 33, a touchdown, and just hitting all his strides. Only one turnover, but things are working there. The running game was as strong with Joe Mixon. Everything on offense, and the Texans looking great at home in the traditional first Saturday game of the wild card weekend. Awesome stuff for the Houston Texans there. 32-12. Who knows? We've seen players last long enough to get another opportunity again. Justin Herbert. Whether it's nerves, whether it's not holding up, I don't know. I feel Justin Herbert is good enough to recover from this, but shit, 14 for 32 and 4 turnovers is not going to do it for you. And if it wasn't for Ladd McConkey, it would look even worse. So again, I think the Chargers still have a lot of work to do, but the Texans might need to be taken seriously again. Awesome stuff for Houston. Very, very good stuff. Impressive 32-12 victory over that. Then your other Saturday game, the Baltimore Ravens handling the Pittsburgh Steelers easily by a score of 28-14. thanks to Lamar Jackson handling the offense correctly. Even though the yardage wasn't anything spectacular, Bro was still able to have 60 for 21, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, mostly the running game of Derrick Henry with 76 carries, 186 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Made an explosive offense of the Baltimore Ravens look like take advantage of the strongest point, the strength of the Pittsburgh Steelers at their defense and handling them. Then the Baltimore Ravens defense was able to contain Russell Wilson and the running game of the Steelers, handling most of the time of possession. And while the game wasn't that entertaining, the Steelers continued to lose in the playoffs despite getting there. I believe they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Shoot. But yeah, the Ravens with some momentum as we head, and I can't wait to talk about this game at the end of this week with the Ravens and Bills coming up. But the Ravens handling the Steelers easily, thanks to everything working on offense and defense for the Ravens, and the Steelers just not explosive at all in this game. Seems like that they were underestimated at times, and going into the first half of 21-0, you knew this was the Ravens game to win. Those Steelers put a little bit of a fight. They were able to make you thought that the adjustments they were making at half could maybe facilitate them, but no. Derrick Henry gets a 44-yard touchdown, and they get a garbage time touchdown and not make the game look as bad as it wound up being. It's all Ravens all game long, and 28-14 victory there. And Lamar Jackson gets another playoff win under his belt, and the Steelers continue their cycle of making the playoffs and then just falling short in the wildcard round. At least that's been the case for now, last 8 seasons. So interesting stuff there. But all Ravens in that game. Then we have the Broncos and the Bills. All Bills this time. While I did expect the spread to be at least close at 8.5 points, I was clearly wrong on that. Bills continued to dominate at home. And it felt like all time of at first, second, maybe Denver had a shot, an early touchdown early in the first quarter, and then it was all Bills from there. They practically had the time of possession the entire game, 31 points. Josh Allen continuing to be amazing in the wild card round. 20 for 26, 272 yards and a couple touchdowns. James Cook having a hell of a game on the ground. And while, Denver just was barely on the field offensively. It was all Bills all the time. And that was the difference there. Not much really to analyze there. All you know is that the Broncos really do have a great future. They break their playoff-less streak. Almost 10 years without getting to the playoffs. Finally return. They just go up against a really hot Bills team with all the momentum in the world. And that sets up probably the most anticipated game of the year with Bills and Ravens. Sunday night, 6:30. And we will preview that to full force on Friday night. Sorry, to release for you on Friday. All Bills all the way, but Broncos have a great future ahead. Packers and Eagles. Practically everybody, all the number ones got hurt, it felt like, for the Packers. And a bad omen with a terrible call after the forced fumble that I thought right away that the Packers recovered. They gave it to Philly, and they seemed to run away with that. Well, mostly I think the score separated 22-10 based on all the injuries the Packers had. Packers just couldn't keep up with the Eagles. The returning Jalen Hurts with a modest 2-touchdown, 131-yard game. Saquon Barkley, just even though he didn't run into the end zone, he was still making the Packers defense look weak. And yeah, the Eagles took care of business at a 22-10 victory at home with so many Packer injuries. And while Jordan Love's only had, and then, Jordan Love with 3 interceptions isn't awesome, great either. We've seen him early on in 2 years, have good playoff games like you did against Dallas last year. And then a game like today, losing against the Eagles with 3 touchdowns and losing almost his whole roster. I just think it's just bad luck there. More experience, we'll see where it goes, but it's been quite a year for Jordan Love, getting on and off the field, whether he's hurting his MCL at the beginning of the season, hurting his elbow at the end of the season. We give him credit to make it this far, but Eagles were just the better team in this one. And then the Commanders and the Bucks. Jaden Daniels establishes himself as one of the better quarterbacks in the league, similar to CJ Stroud last year, but the number 2 overall pick once again makes some noise. And even though this game, I feel it was a Buccaneers shooting themselves, making crucial turnovers, not playing fundamental football, Baker Mayfield's ugly fumbles during the handoffs to give some momentum back to Washington, and then just having enough time to get a game-winning field goal that almost looked like a doink loss. But Commanders win their first playoff game in 19 seasons, and Commanders win an impressive, very entertaining 23-20 victory there. And the Vikings and the Rams, an inspirational win for the Rams to defeat the Vikings. Obviously, everything going on in Atlanta, it really does bother you and makes you sad, especially if you know people out of California. But, the Chargers didn't do it, but the Rams did get a crucial victory for LA, 27-9. As I mentioned, Vikings were Vikings. Sam Darnold lost himself hundreds of millions of dollars, not having a good game. Times where he held on the ball too long, making bad decisions, not getting the ball to Jefferson or Addison, and it was the tight end who had the most receiving yards in Hockenson, the touchdown. But yeah, couldn't get the running game going. And then the Rams, who have been looking great over the past few weeks, now they get a big win for LA and now bring some momentum going into the divisional round. Impressive 27-9 victory, and the Vikings just, crap the bed on that one. And the Rams, everything worked. Karen Williams looking great. Higbee's had a good game. Puka was looking good. The only one who didn't do much was Koopa, but Cup, but I think it wound up working out. Am I right? Rams with the 27-9 victory. And yeah, that's it. In the short show, just reacting to the Wildcard Weekend now that I can healthy enough to do it. But everything is all good, and we're going to have a great divisional weekend. I just know it. I'll have my preview for that for all of you on Friday, and can't wait to talk to you about then. Chiefs at Texans opening at -8.5 for Kansas City. That'll be Saturday at 4:30. Commanders and Lions on Saturday night. Detroit opening as a 9.5-point favorite. Rams and Eagles opening. Philly opening as a 6.5-point favorite. 3:00 Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. The game we've all been waiting for. MVP candidate versus MVP candidate. Proven draw first. Proven draw. 2 quarterbacks who are the face of their generation. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. Divisional round. Sunday night. Prime time. Let's get that. Baltimore is your 1-point favorite there. But much love, everybody. Glad to be here. And again, we will have the reaction we will have our preview for the national championship on Thursday, a preview of the divisional round on Friday, and a recap for you on Friday as well. But my name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and I will be seeing you all very, very soon. All the love. Peace.